So we're all recording right now and everything, right?
Yes, I am recording.
You have your water, Vanessa, and Nagiri?
Yes, I have my water, my coffee.
Sir.
And or coffee or beverage of choice.
Man, I don't have my coffee.
You don't have your... Good, yes!
I know.
I was telling
Sag.
Riku, the older he gets, he's going to want coffee. Watch.
What? No. Depend on my natural energy. How dare you? No, I actually can use...
I feel like
Until that natural energy goes away.
Yeah.
Wow. No hope for Rico in the next 3 years, huh?
Hits 33.
Wow. I'm thinking. How do I want to do this?
You don't wanna do
I mean,
this?
I
What
already
the
know
heck?
what I'm going to
Oh, no. Let me, I usually start off, just go straight into it or whatnot, and not give you guys any clue that I'm already starting at a certain part of the recording.
And
So,
it's
of course,
probably
we are
already started.
back to episode 2, season 2 of the TurnBased podcast. I'm your beautiful, lovely, gracious host, Rico the Best, Rico X Pain, the Dark Knight, whatever you want to call me. Ooh.
That was shorter than usual. Usually it's like a whole
Yeah, I
slew
forget
of
the rest.
titles.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Trying to remember, what else did they call me in these parts?
Oh, milk chocolate. Thank you. There we go. They also call me milk chocolate for a certain someone out there, I
And
guess.
I am your co-host, Fruit Cake,
You?
here. I don't have that many titles as Riku because I
What
don't
do you-
need that many titles.
What do you mean you don't need that many titles? And of course, we have a guest.
And of course,
You
we have
introduced-
the amazing Nigiri Sushi, a
thank
Capcom
you.
creator, a SkyTech partner, recently an EA partner as well, Twitch partner.
No. Thank you,
Let's
thank you.
go.
Oh, thank you.
Girl, doing
Aye,
everything
aye.
here.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited.
No, thank you for being on this podcast for us. I actually, we wanted to interview you a long time ago.
Mhm.
Oh.
And just seeing like your growth and stuff, seeing where you've come from and then where you are now, I really, really wanted to talk about that kind of journey with you. So super excited to have you on our podcast.
All right, before we get
Oh,
into the
thank you, thank you.
questions, Lady Van, I wanted to mention, I don't know if you're familiar with our podcast and stuff, but we it's not anything too crazy serious. I obviously want our guests to be comfortable, a little chill and have fun and whatnot. Of course, Vanessa has a list of questions to ask you later on throughout the podcast. If you, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with it and whatnot, and I'm just gonna be here instigating. No, I'm here of help and stuff.
Instigating.
Instigating.
I like to not, so to speak, break the ice, but kind of make it a little more comfortable for the guests and stuff like that, right? Just not all
Yeah,
too
absolutely,
serious and
absolutely.
just have a chill little vibe. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink.
Yeah, it's a good contrast because I feel like maybe I take it really seriously and he doesn't. So
No, because before
Oh,
I
good.
used to try to do everything. I used to try and come up with the questions, obviously edit, and the times to record, I used to pick all of the guests. I was like, I'm just gonna have Vanessa do all that.
Aww.
I got you.
But it's a good chemistry between the two of you. Like even like when you guys are streaming together or just playing games together, it's such a good chemistry between the two of you.
Whoa.
Likewise,
So-
too. I know me and Riku have played a couple of games with you, and we always have a good time
Mhm.
streaming with
thank
you,
you, thank you,
collabing
yeah.
with you. So
I actually thought we were gonna be kind of like playing Sons of the Forest while Riku kills all of us.
What?
Just randomly.
I know. We still need to do that. We
It's
still need to do
unintentional,
that.
okay? I just found a Molotov and I was like, ooh, what can I do with this? And then I see
I
friends
know,
on
and throw
fire,
it
and I'm
at
like, oops.
us. I know.
Don't,
But yeah, of
don't trust
course.
Riku, man.
This podcast is about you, Nagiri. Of course, we want to know more about you. So, I mean, Vanessa, you can lay with the questions. Just.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
first off, I want to know where your name came from because I know every time you when someone raids, you always introduce yourself as Nigiri Sushi and you explain what Nigiri Sushi is. But I've always been curious as to where you came from or how you come up with that name.
That's a great question. When someone, what was that? A few people have asked me that, and I just mentioned came from like the family of nigiris, just being passed down generation after generation. So it's just like now I'm like the baby nigiri.
Well, actually,
no,
okay, go ahead.
Go for
Yeah.
it, Garson. No,
I
it's
was
just been
gonna
like a gamer tag for me. So
So back in like the AIM days or
Aim.
I know,
Oh, my
right?
goodness.
AIM
I know,
Messenger.
right?
By the way, I'm the youngest one
Yes.
here. Just want to point that out. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah, Riku
Oh,
doesn't
I
know what
thought you're
AIM
the
is.
oldest one, Riku.
She's older
I know,
than me.
right? Oh my gosh,
How dare
Aim.
you? Don't I look young and
I
beautiful?
would hotmail from that, and also
Oh, yeah.
the dial-up. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Riku don't even know what that sounds like.
I know,
I
right?
heard of
Just
dial-up.
the waiting.
I know AIM, but dial-up, that's a bit fire. That's a bit
You
much.
don't know what that is.
Man.
It's okay. Save your ears, sir. Save your ears.
I thought
You don't
it was
need to hear
like
that.
one day you were hungry and then you like nigiri sushi. And it's like, I want to become a nigiri sushi. And then it just,
Well, what is your favorite nigiri, actually?
For me, it's salmon and eel.
Ooh, that's
Uni,
good.
yeah. Uni is also definitely one of those. But yeah, it depends because not everyone, like, if for a really good, like, sushi restaurant, like from New York, usually New York, California, has really good sushi. Salmon belly and also salmon belly and eel are my favorite.
Yeah, those are some good ones. I'm more of a yellowtail
know.
myself. I
can
like
see-
that
yeah, I can see it.
yuzu
Yep, yep, yep.
yellowtail.
Yeah,
You?
yellow-
I think I just eat anything. I'm not going to lie. If it's sushi, anything Japanese
yeah,
related,
absolutely.
as
Yeah,
far as
that's
cuisine, I'm just going to eat it like Vanessa knows.
Mhm,
It's
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, what do you have, Vanessa? I want some." And it was just good. So,
Like I've been introducing this guy to all kinds of cuisine since
Yeah.
we started.
That's good,
so. But yeah, I also read up on just your history of gaming. I know you came from a more humbler beginnings. I actually wanted to touch on that because a lot of the people that I know that are into, streaming, that game, a lot of them came from just growing up with gaming throughout their childhood. So it was interesting to see that you kind of, I guess, went back into it. So if you could just elaborate on that.
Absolutely. So like when I was probably elementary, when I was a kid, the one that kind of like got me into gaming was like Pokemon Red, Blue, and then there was like special Yellow.
Aw.
Everyone, yeah, that was it. So like with Pokemon, but then I didn't have my own like Game Boy back then, so I was just kind of like borrowing it from my classmates or like friends, and I was able to play it. And then we got a PC, and we were just kind of like briefly talking about like the history, like with PC back in the 90s. So I got into StarCraft. I put that also on my bio. Yeah, I got addicted to StarCraft. I was playing with my brother. And I didn't know that you can use cheat codes on StarCraft. And like, I don't know if
You're a
I don't know
cheater.
if you guys. No. It was not me. It was like my oldest brother. Have you guys played StarCraft?
I know of StarCraft. It's not my
okay.
game, but I know of it, and
Yeah.
I think my hubby also has played it a couple times. So
I'd be surprised.
So it was
I
like
haven't played it.
PvP.
Oh,
So it
Yeah.
was PvP taking over, like
it's like
the
all
base of the other one.
micromanaging, right? Micromanagement in the game.
Sort of.
Oh.
Is there something like that now? But it's kind of like going like PvP, and I didn't know that you can do cheat codes to like make the mining faster as you build what like robots or something. They're called like Terrans. I feel like whoever is a fan of StarCraft listening to here is probably gonna hate me because I'm not using the terms. But yeah, you kind of like take over. And then my brother was we were kind of like playing that. That got me into gaming as well. Counter-Strike has been out for like years and years now. Shooter game. So just basically that. But then of course, I don't know about like fruitcake. I don't know if you've experienced it too. Like usually Asian parents would want to gear their children to not really into gaming, but through more of like school. So they kind of like make sure you focus on that. So I kind of like got out of gaming because of that, because I focus on school, work, and then now that I'm all graduated and stuff, so I got back to gaming. That's
It helps that you don't live with your
yeah.
parents too, because then they
Yes,
they
it
can't
does.
tell you.
Do
It
you-
does.
Can't tell you not to play.
I was gonna say, Vanessa,
Right?
I know you had a similar story to where when you told your parents about, oh no, this game is like educational, and they allowed you to play. Was that Grand
yeah.
Theft Auto, or was it a different
No,
game?
no, oh my God, no. No, I there's no way I could sell Grand Theft Auto to my mom. But no, it was actually Animal Crossing on the GameCube. My mom would only let us play Animal Crossing on weekdays during school days because we told her it was about teaching you how to pay taxes and buying houses and stuff.
All right.
And she bought it,
She's
and
like, okay.
we used to play Animal Crossing. I think it was I think our mom gave us 2 hours in the day to play Animal Crossing, and that's how me and my sisters got around to playing video games. I mean, there was other ways that we snuck around to playing video games, like late at night. But yeah, that was one way we got around it. So I totally understand, the parents wanting you to take care of your studies first. And I mean, we grew up in I think in an era where video games were really just popping off. Like we had just consoles on consoles. I mean, I just remember, Christmas always asking for consoles or
right, whatever the newest one is. I know it's crazy.
That's true. So would you say, I know you said you mentioned your brother, huh? What was that?
Can I cut in for a second? So this I don't know what questions you have written down for Nigiri, but I wanted to bring this up. So obviously you guys come from a similar background, being, Asian, having Asian parents. And for me, obviously it's different. I'm black and I'm a guy, so it's normal for us to play games. It's normal for guys to play video games at a younger age and stuff. So I'm curious to know how different was it for you guys, because I grew up with 3 other brothers. We always played games. We played a lot of wrestling games. We played the GoldenEye, 007. We played just a lot of competitive games and stuff. But that was normal for us. We would always do that. And my other brother, oldest brother, would play Final Fantasy 7. He never let me play it. And stuff like that. But basically what I'm getting to is that it was normal for us to play games. And I'm sure it wasn't really normal for you, because obviously back in the 90s or old age, the Stone Age, you play with Barbies and no action figures, no games, don't do boy stuff and all that. So I was just kind of curious about that. And I don't.
No, that is actually a great point. I guess it depends. I guess it depends on your family as well. So I've also mentioned, and I put it on my bio as well. I did mention we came from a poor family, so we really didn't have access to that. So maybe also our kind of parents, or that's why we were kind of grilled into hey, more discipline and just school to be successful and all that stuff. But it's also not as uncommon, I guess, with Asian parents or with the Asian culture to kind of I don't know, it's that perfectionist culture sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's a great question, because versus American culture, I guess. I guess it depends.
I guess you didn't have many options, like you said, since wasn't very wealthy, didn't have all the games and stuff, and then of course them wanting you to focus more on school and stuff like that. Okay, so I can definitely kind of get that. I mean, obviously we didn't really have much money either, so I did miss out on a ton of games and stuff. Never played the original Pokemon games. I got into Pokemon a little late, and I can definitely agree with that.
And also, I think it's I don't know if your parents, did they immigrate from another country to the U.S.? Because I know with my parents, they came from the Philippines, and straight away, I feel like parents that came from another country are just a lot more, I guess, harsher on the kids to do well in school and to make money and make sure you know what you're going to be and what you're going to do.
But
if there's anything you're not comfortable speaking about, definitely, you can just say pass. I actually forgot to mention that at the beginning. No, just
saying it's hey,
so I was sitting there thinking, I'm there was something else, a disclaimer I was supposed to give at the beginning. I was crap. But if there's something you're uncomfortable asking publicly, then you can just say pass, or just don't elaborate on it on the topic and stuff. So, we covered that disclaimer.
Because
you can just, that's good. That's because I'm comfortable with you guys. Yeah. So I was hey, I can just say this. Okay.
Yeah, it's podcast public space, so obviously just be careful if you are uncomfortable with this and that and stuff like that. Me, I'm open with everything. I've talked about a lot of stuff in the past episodes of podcast. Same with Vanessa. She made me cry a little bit. So yeah, I know, right?
Totally unintentional.
Totally unintentional.
Usually it's intentional, but not that time. So I'm actually
I feel like what
curious.
episode is that? I feel like I have to
Oh.
watch that, whatever that
That
episode.
was-
The
what was
episode
that
we
one?
talked about
I'm gonna watch.
bullying and childhood
Oh.
yeah.
and yeah.
That one was
Is it-
deep, actually.
That was probably our
Is
deepest
it still on you?
episode.
Is it still on YouTube?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
on
I'm
the
guessing it is,
TurnBased channel
Mhm.
podcast channel.
Okay,
thingy.
okay.
It's like episode 5 or 6, something like that. Right?
I'll
We
look
talked
into it.
about
I'll look into it. I want
childhood.
to watch it. I want to watch it. Yeah.
Woo!
You're about to
Teary-eyed.
cry again.
Yeah, grab
I
some
know. I was
tissues.
so thanks. I was like, oh.
Oh, no. I'm fine. Oh, my life.
Guy feeling the feels.
I know.
Make sure you grab some tissues before you do watch that episode. But yeah, we talked a lot about that and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm actually curious what got you into streaming. So you found this new love for gaming again, and then
Mhm.
what got you into streaming?
That's a great question. So COVID happened and my job got affected. So we were kind of like, I don't want to like, so we wouldn't want to leave the house because everyone was kind of like scared. If we leave the house, apply to a new job now, are we going to get hospitalized? Do we even have the money? Sort of in that scenario. So Rune mentioned, because I usually play with Rune and other friends with gaming anyway. So they was like, you know what? And they see me react with games. They're like, you should try streaming. And I got into streaming, but I am a very private person. I know it's like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, I'm definitely, I know I kind of like scream or like with horror games and stuff, but I'm a very shy private person actually. So I got into streaming. We were testing. It was Among Us, I think. I was playing with like our friends because it was in a comfortable environment, and that was a time when like Among Us was blowing up because it was COVID, and yeah, that just kind of like started it. But then I had a potato computer back then too. So
remember
even
that.
with Among Us, I know technical issues. Even with Among Us, my game kept crashing, and I actually wanted to be a Destiny 2 like streamer because that's one thing that I really
Oh.
enjoyed.
I remember
But
that
my
too.
PC, I know, right? But my PC won't won't keep up with both streaming and then playing the game at the same time. So
Ah.
Mhm.
And so so you said the first game you streamed was Among Us?
Among Us,
Ah,
Among Us
and
and
then-
Destiny.
I remember she had a
Among Us
hat
and
on
Destiny.
and longer hair too, and when she was
I
playing
did.
Among
I
Us,
know.
yeah.
I'm very tomboyish. Yeah, I was like, I wanted. Yeah, you're right. I wanted the hat on because I'm very. Even up to I don't know why.
Mhm.
I'm just very tomboyish and stuff like that. But then even up to now I have my hat, but it's covers the face, so it
Mhm.
doesn't look good on camera. So I was like, okay, I had to remove the hat. I know.
Would you say streaming helped you kind of get out of your shell, or do you still feel a little bit anxious before you stream?
That's a great question. It did get me out of my shell, I guess, but at the same time, like IRL, I'm back to my like just the usual self.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Like I'm different on camera because I have to talk. Like I have to explain what I'm doing and all that stuff, I guess. But then off camera, it's like I don't talk usually a lot. I guess I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I answered that question right or not.
No,
but it's
that's
kind of like
interesting. That's interesting because it's interesting to see, people see this streamer as what is being shown on the stream. And a lot of people just assume that, if you're streaming, you must be this very social butterfly kind of person. But as we've interviewed a couple people, and as I've like also met other streamers, it's totally the opposite most of the time. Like I feel like a lot of people are more social online and on Twitch than they are in person, and they always say, yeah, I'm like totally different from how I am in real life, because in real life I'm super super shy, and then on stream, do you think maybe that's just because the whole not being able to see the other person, does that kind of play a little bit on how social you are on Twitch?
That's a great question. I probably not, because how should I say this? I guess I'm social just like the way I am. Like, how should I say this? Like my sociability, I don't know if that's a term, is the same as when
It's a
I'm
term now.
I know, right? You know, sorry.
We're making it a term on this podcast.
Yeah.
I know, sorry. Well, if while I'm on stream versus off stream, like for instance, with Fruitcake and Riku, like I'm playing
Alright.
games with you guys, I talk the same amount, but if I'm in my work mode of like, hey, I have to stream 12 hours in a day, because I used to do that. I don't know.
Sheesh.
I know, right? You probably saw that, Riku. I don't know. I kind of like I'm a workaholic too. So like I push myself. Then it kind of like you become more sociable in that within that 12 hours time. Or
It's like getting
I get-
comfortable, kind of, right?
Since you're used to streaming that amount of
don't-
time, it's like you're used to talking for this amount of hours that day.
Maybe, yeah, like maybe, yeah, on specific, yeah, on your schedule, you're just kind of like got used to talking in that amount versus when you're offline, I guess. But it doesn't really change the sociability. I don't know. Maybe
Question for you.
Maybe I'm not explaining. Sorry. Yeah.
Would you expect?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Remember, this is about you. This episode is about you, Nigga 21 Sushi.
Yeah.
So, I had a question. How would you expect me to be on and offline? Would you expect me to be the same or different? I'm gonna do the same thing with Vanessa, but that's a question for you.
Oh wait,
I'm basically asking her. Yeah, because I wanted to see her opinion on it. Would she expect me to be the same online as I am offline?
But what is the same?
Well, you know, when you're a
I guess
content
that's
creator,
what I
you
meant.
have to be sociable, but when you turn the cameras off, you don't really have to be that sociable. And that's basically what I'm asking you and stuff. Would you expect me to be the same on and offline? Like, still
What else?
high energy and stuff like that outside of recording and streaming?
That's how should I say? That's a great question, because number one, how do you rate sociableness? Like that's what I was kind of like
That's true.
saying. Let's say every day, right? Let's say you're working 8 hours a shift. You are working, or like in a classroom of 8 hours, you know, you are being in that sociable of 8 hours, but then when you're back home, you're just, I guess you live in an apartment of your own, or your partner or something. It's also reduced. So how do you how do we define sociableness?
So for me,
and
I
also-
think it depends on who I'm around. Like you guys, I'm always gonna have high. Well, I naturally have high energy, obviously, but around you two, I know you guys a lot and stuff like that. So I'm usually just gonna be like how I am on stream, just 100% random and screaming, "Oh!" whatever, you know.
Okay.
But I'm not around that like with a lot of people, so it's only with certain people for me. So
Okay.
and Vanessa,
Yeah, I mean, I always assume that people have a meter, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm
Also, yeah.
always like, I understand that what you're given online is just face value, but
Mhm.
people are all kinds of dimensions and variety, and we
Mhm,
show
mhm.
that dimension variety to certain people. So we're not always going to be
Mhm.
the same depending on who we hang out with,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
even just depending on the time of day. Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I mean, I feel like if I have a good vibe with someone on a good day, that's who I vibe with. Like, that's how our dynamic is going to be. And then I always put in the back of my mind, everybody has bad days. Everybody gets tired mentally, physically, socially, you know? So yeah, that's kind of how I guess perceive people from how they are online and offline.
I like that. I like how you word it. Oh my gosh, you're
no,
you're good at
she's very good at wording
guys-
things.
She is. Okay,
Let me
this
put on
is
my
why
nerd glasses really quick. I got you. Nerd glasses on.
When she gets
There
her
you
thoughts
go.
together, she it's like she knows what she's talking about. Honestly,
I am not.
Yeah,
I'm horrible.
I think that's
I'm
the
horrible.
charm, though, too. I think that's kind of the charm with you, because whenever I'm on your stream, it's almost like you're having a conversation with just like a friend, you know? I mean, you
Aw.
are a friend, but
Aw.
it's
you
just
are.
like, I think that's the charm, too. Like, a lot of people are, I think, driven to that. than just the eloquent person, you know? Like sometimes being too eloquent can kind of put people off,
Yeah.
you know? So I like the charm that you put on your stream.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the
something
kind
that's
words.
unique to you. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, thank you. But I like how she explained that. I was like, dang, I wish I could
That's why she's my
explain that to me
co-host.
together. I know.
It's the coffee. I had coffee today.
It's the coffee is doing all the work.
You had the sleep, the amount of good sleep. I was like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, without sleep, don't expect this at all.
No, it's just all jibber jabber, just random noise, and I have to deal with that usually when we play
But
games.
that's really
My
good.
God.
So
Aw, that was
going
really
back
good.
going back to streaming, what was like some of the more challenge other than being out of your shell and being more social? What was another challenge that you would say you faced that you didn't expect when it came to going into streaming?
The technical stuff. Even up to now, it's still a challenge. I was actually talking to even before streaming, like talking to my friends about it. I would not have got into streaming if not for Rune's help. Because even up to now, like, there are certain, I don't know, there's a certain ones that you can kind of like fix on yourself. Like, for instance, camera's not working, plug it, unplug it back in. Or like it does always usually help turn off the PC or, and all those stuff to kind of like keep the PC or the streaming stuff working. But then it's still sometimes I'm not technical enough for streaming related to solve some of them sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like I understand that a lot because a lot of the tech issues, I feel like you could only learn from an experienced background. And for like, I don't know with you, but I have such a hard time just trying to like watch YouTube videos or read forums, trying to figure out what's wrong with my computer. I feel like a lot of the time, if I had the experience of being like very technical, I would have understand more of like the computer technical side of streaming.
Yeah, because even if you watch YouTube videos of it, sometimes it's not even it's not even the right solution. Like it would say, hey, your monitor is blinking, something like that. Check. I don't know if that's a good example or something, but example wherein you YouTube or you kind of like Google or check YouTube videos, and sometimes it won't even solve it. So it's that even up to now, I think it's still a continuous struggle for me. And I'm just glad because Rune is very technical. And
he's helped me with some
versed.
problems as well because I experienced so many problems within the last 5-6 months. It's ridiculous with just PC issues are like the most. I have zero patience for that crap, dude. Like I have all the patience in the world for everything else, but when it comes to tech problems, I hate everything, dude. I swear to God, I've done everything in the world. I went from Windows 10 to 11, still issues, and hard resetting my computer, and now my computer isn't even working right now. And it's like, dude, I've been through so much because I edit videos literally every day. So I'm bound to experience some type of difficulty with rendering issues or the issues with the computer itself. My God, it's annoying. But yes.
I know, right? Yes. Like yesterday, I just updated all my windows and then all the settings get reset to default. I was like, why is my mic not working? Why is you have to tinker with that. It's annoying.
It is. I hate
but
it.
I feel
wait,
like
how about
it's
for you guys?
constant.
Okay.
Oh,
How about
yeah?
for you guys?
Oh, with like tech issues?
Or no, for like I don't know if it's okay to kind of like bounce that question as well back to you guys. Like what struggle even up to now with like streaming stuff?
Oh yeah. I
Being
would
consistent.
definitely. Oh, it's consistency for you.
For me, yeah, because I mainly make YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's true. I would think consistency for Riku for sure. I would have said the same thing for you. Because this man will be like, yeah, I'm streaming tomorrow, guys. And then I like message him. I'm like, hey, I thought you were streaming. He's like, I lied.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hey, man, these videos be hard, okay?
And they are. There's a huge difference too between live streaming and just YouTube recording. Oh my gosh. anyway, but we're trailing off again. But yeah, there's a huge difference. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, actually, I think my answer would actually go really well with the next topic I actually wanted to talk to you about.
Mhm.
I think for me, it would definitely, one of the things that I had to learn with streaming was like how to deal with an amount of people. And when I say that, I mean like, how do I manage this relationship that I have with people? And I actually wanted to talk to you about this on regards to parasocial relationships. And how you personally deal with that. And I know also, I don't know if you want to like touch on this, but you know, Ruin is your partner, and I wanted to ask you about how does that work for you? You know, with how has that worked for you in a sense with like the relationships you have with your community?
That's a great question. How
You got this.
I guess no. I guess one good example is like, so for instance, for me, I built the Twitch like the Nigiri community. I built it. One thing that I only be like, like I want to just be able to have a community of mature people. I guess I can use it. I can use me and Rune as an example. Rune's YouTube community, he's much more. He plays. For those who don't know, he plays Super Mario Maker 2 viewer levels, and from like expert, super expert levels. So Mario is a very wholesome, family friendly game and streaming. So most of his community are young kids. So, and for me, it's the opposite. So, I kind of like, I was going on a specific point and I totally forgot.
It's interesting that you said that too, because I totally understand that. We were actually just talking about this not so long ago with me and Riku, where I was actually telling Riku, I was like, your community is so much younger compared to my community and Nigiri's community. And so when have you ever had like a mesh between you and Ruin's community?
We do, but then at the same time, I can tell like if they're like spamming stuff or if they're just being rude, I just automatically ban them for me. Like I have zero patience for that. He, on the other hand, is very patient. Like he would time out someone like multiple times, and he will try to kind of like talk to them because that's just his personality. My personality is just I want to be comfortable in my workspace, and like imagine that being on your work because this is work still, and this is still kind of like your business, and it depends on, I guess, what you want to see on that, or if do you want to be constantly be exposed to something that is toxic or I guess something like that maybe. So that's why I just do.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that the streamer does shape what the community becomes. And you always want to make sure that your community is a reflection of what you stand for and what you want to show to other people. So that's very eye-opening, I feel like, to some people, because then you get we're kind of trailing off a little bit, but you get like the debate of, oh, so and so is stealing views, you know, like you'll have that kind of debate that goes on, and it's like that makes no sense, because if someone's going to be watching somebody, they're going to be watching that person and not someone else,
right?
You know, depending on what they are interested in.
Correct. Yeah, each person is different. Each content, like I always say, is different from others, because each person have their own personality or vibe.
And I have to say, your mods are amazing on your channel. I love your mods.
Oh my gosh, they are. I always thank them. I just could. if you've been on my channel, I always spam like, hey, shout out to them because they deserve it. Mods, you guys are awesome. Yeah.
Shout
Watch
out to
this
the
and you guys are
mods.
awesome also. Yeah, they are.
Thank you for giving me a compliment, Vanessa. I appreciate it.
I mean, Rico's okay.
I was a part of the mods. What do you mean? Hello?
No, Riku's a good mod. Riku is a good
Yeah.
mod.
Try me.
He's a better mod than I am, but I try to catch people's streams, but I'm usually
You're
doing
busy.
a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Also, I have this thing where I don't want to say hi and somebody I'm a lurker, and I usually don't like saying hi in someone's stream because I don't want to be stuck in a conversation. Does that
Yeah,
make
same.
sense?
Yes. Okay. So I've learned that. One thing that I've learned, because how should I say this? When I also was kind of like started streaming, and it's just based on experience to like, for instance, someone else's partner, for instance, Fruitcake's partner,
Ew.
popped in, right? Did you say ew?
Yeah, you sound-
For instance, and then I would do a shout out to, for instance, I will do a shout out to Fruitcake and then introduce them because their husband or their partner or their friend came in. And then, so I realized this, and then that streamer, for instance, like with Fruitcake, popped in and was kind of like forced to say hi, and I did not mean to, so I learned
Pulled
to
me
not
out of the
do-
shadows.
I know, it was like, oh no, I didn't mean to, so I learned not to do. Sometimes I still do because I'm just, I don't know, that's me.
You're
I just kind of like,
you're
hey.
so sweet though. You're
Yeah,
so
you
sweet.
really
Aw,
are.
Thank you so much.
I am so
I-
horrible at doing that, dude. Every stream I go to, I just don't say nothing. Like I've been lurking in people's streams for at least a year plus now. I'm not even joking. Like I am so bad at just socializing normally. Like even when people I've known for like a year plus, I still kind of lurk in their streams, and it's when I was like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to get caught in conversation because I'm technically editing. Even in your streams, Nigiri, like I don't tell you when I'm there.
Right.
And as soon as
I know.
the only time when I say something in your chat, when I'm responding to somebody in chat, that's either, had a question that you may have missed and I respond to, and then, oh, Riku!
Me too. I would say it. I was like, oh no, I know. And I think that's one of the. I know, and a lot of people, I do get compliments for it, but at the same time, I feel like people also, because I don't know, I like complimenting people. I build up people because that's. I know them. I know their
like that about
content.
you. That's
Yeah, no,
But in the-
I feel like there needs to be more just like build up among.
more Nigiris. Well, actually,
Yeah, more nigiri. We need more nigiris in the community.
Oh no! A
Please
lot of
and
people are
thank you.
gonna be more anxious. I was like, oh no! Now I have to chat. Oh my
and
gosh!
then there's me when I'm streaming. I just randomly, like every 15 minutes, Vanessa, I know you're there. Vanessa, where are you? Do we?
Oh yeah, freaking this guy.
Oh, really?
my goodness. I'm just like vibing. He's like, "Where's Vanessa? Vanessa here?" And I just hear my name just randomly. I'm just, my goodness, my goodness. So with streaming, it's been by the way, it's been amazing seeing like from where you began to where you are now. You've done so much. You and
Aw.
Ruin both. What's one of the most memorable things you would say that came from streaming?
Ooh, the like the front page, like
Oh,
the front page. So I've been featured. My first front page experience was with API, Asian American Pacific. Yeah,
I remember that.
was it a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year I think. Yeah, last year. And that was a wonderful experience. And then you just get to kind of like get into like with the social groups, and you kind of like learn them. I think it was also International Women's last year too. I forgot. Also Capcom co-hosting. That was really fun with the
Oh,
title
nice.
update.
Yeah.
That was a very fun, unique experience. Those are probably my top best ones.
Mm.
I think, yeah.
I know. I remember seeing them. I was like, oh, I know that person.
I know.
I know you.
Fangirling. No, it's been
Dude,
really
I'm
awesome.
fangirling when you go do the Logitech thing. I was like, man, girl. I was like, because you've been featured a lot with Logitech, so that's pretty cool. That's really cool. I get happy when I see success for people. I just genuinely like, I'm happy for that person. It's like, oh my gosh.
I think that's why I love you so much is because
Oh.
you celebrate other people's
Mm-hmm.
accomplishments instead of like, this community can be filled with not so genuine people.
Mhm,
And I mean, that's with any community, but for some
Yeah.
reason it's a little bit prevalent in the Twitch community.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see people who are like genuine, who care about other
Yes.
successes, other people's successes, and build them up as well.
Oh, thank you. And it's the same with you, Riku and Fruitcake. You
What?
guys are, I feel like, what is that quote wherein birds of the feather flock together, I think?
Oh, yeah,
Is it-
that's
did I
true.
say
Oh,
that
yeah.
right?
Okay, yeah, pretty
kind of
much.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, you get magnetized, or you are also attracted with the same positive thinking people. And I see the same thing for you and Riku as well. So I'm kind of like, it's pretty cool.
Aw.
I agree with what you say. And it's not just with Twitch, I guess. Or maybe you see it more prevalent since it's a social media kind of thing, but also with other workplace. Like you see that crab mentality. I don't know if that's a familiar term. And I've always hated seeing that.
Mhm.
Because why not celebrate other people's success and then like push everyone up so that everyone is kind of like, successful, and you're surrounded with similar successful, people that
Yeah.
will kind of like pull each other up instead of pulling each other down with negativity.
And that is your charm,
Never made sense
Nigiri.
for me.
That is your
Your
charm.
face is a charm.
I had a
Yeah, it's
point,
true.
but I forgot it when I raised my hand.
Oh, sorry.
No, not. It was when Vanessa was talking. Oh my god.
Right, because I feel like we can talk multiple, like there's different things that we can talk about. Sorry,
Yeah, no,
especially
it's
with
true.
streaming. So
Yeah,
sorry, Riku.
that's true. Do you remember Riku?
No, I really don't want to cut you off because you were making a good point, Vanessa. Normally I do cut you
Oh.
off, and you're making a really good statement.
Write it down. Have a paper. Write it down.
Oh, what was it? Okay, we were talking about when you were on a Twitch. Oh, that's what it was. Vanessa, I just remember. I can imagine her as a Twitch ambassador. I don't know why. I can definitely imagine her
Your
as
face
a Twitch
is a Twitch ambassador.
Stop it!
Even you guys. What do you mean, like us? I mean, I feel like even you guys. Riku, I like what Fruitcake mentioned. Your community is so young, and I don't know how you can have the patience for it.
They're
So
stupid
I'm
just
just kind of
me.
like, but you do a great job with like the entertaining. I was like, man, I wish. Same as with you and Rude. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I have that patience. And same as with Fruitcake. I can also imagine you guys as like ambassadors of like
Not
any
me.
brands specifically.
Aw.
What you mean?
That, I
not
mean, you two. Well, more so you, Vanessa. Yeah, she gotta.
We're gonna
purse
push
as
each
much,
other
but,
and pull
you
each other
know.
up. But actually, now that you mention it, it's kind of scary sometimes. Because someone also mentioned that in chat. Like
See,
for
it
instance,
wasn't
I'm gonna
just
use
me. Nice.
Twitch events. You have to be. I always maintain that anyway. You have to be brand safe within Twitch terms of services because I want to keep my community more mature and also just clean. No discrimination, no racism or
Right.
anything. But it's also kind of like hard sometimes to maintain that because
Yeah.
I don't know, because you have you try to maintain things and it's kind of like just harder.
Yeah, certain
I know,
things you can only
sometimes.
control, you know.
Mhm.
And-
Yeah.
So I'm glad they toned down on like the hate rates because I personally don't see them as much.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a big thing
mhm.
over on Twitch where people were just getting hate raids sent to them.
Mhm,
And I remember that whole anime arc, and that was yikes.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that doesn't happen as much. I mean, I can assume it probably does in some way, shape, or form, but not as much, thankfully.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Mhm.
that's, because I really wanted to bring that up, and then when Vanessa was talking, I forgot about it. I was like, wait, it's something I wanted to
Thank you for
say.
the compliment.
No, it's just how you carry yourself and just how you have your community and everything. Like you said, you're on the more mature side. For me, I mean, my community is just as dumb as me, so we usually joke around and just
No.
roast each other back and forth. My mods hate me, I hate my mods. All love, of course. For
Actually,
Your mods love you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sam.
some of them.
Wait, I'm a mod. Hello?
No, I meant as me as a mod on your stream.
Oh no, you hate me.
So
but
silly.
going to I want to go touch on the business side of Twitch, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't talk about it.
Mhm.
And I think because sometimes there might be like kind of a gatekeepy kind of vibe to it. But what would be your advice for someone when it comes to actually networking with companies? Because you've been partnered with a lot of awesome companies. You Capcom creator, you're a SkyTech partner. You recently partnered with EA for what was it, Wild Heart or what was
Wild
it?
Hearts.
Wild Hearts.
Wild
Yes.
Heart.
So what is that advice that you would give to someone when they want to reach out to these companies?
That's a great question. And I think we briefly talked about it, was going to conventions. Sadly, it can be expensive because if it's not on your local state, you sadly have to fly and travel. But going to conventions, especially for instance, I'm going to use TwitchCon, you are able to network more personally and one-on-one with people versus if it's kind of like online kind of like connection or networking. So that has really helped me a lot. And for me, like for instance, I just enjoy collabs. I've just been crazy busy, but like even when I was kind of like even when I was kind of like growing, I actually did not want to be or I did not have the goal of being a partner at the beginning because I feel like it's more pressure. But it also depends on like how you view success. There was this small streamer that I look up to, but even though as a small streamer, he was getting the subs, he was getting the bits. It's like he was making money even up to now, and I kind of like that as an example because he was just very, very entertaining to kind of like watch and to build that. It's kind of like more small knit as a community. It's more cohesive, I guess, instead of a big one. Although even up to now, I think I will say I'm still a small streamer, even up to now. But with connecting to brands or with growing, going to conventions, definitely, and also social media helps as much as it can also be.
Yeah.
I feel like social media is a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
It can be rough, but it's because also I'm going to use Twitter as an example because a lot of it is also businesses are on that social media, especially with Twitch, YouTube. It's still a social media streaming platform, basically. So, yeah.
That's true.
What else? Experimenting. Not all of our Brune and I kind of like sometimes try to experiment with strategies like or play games, different games. Some of them will not work, some of them may not work, but you just continue moving forward. Like any other work, you're gonna fail some, and then you're gonna be successful. You're gonna fail again, and then you'll be successful. So a lot of that experimentation as well.
Especially with Twitch, for sure. There's a
And
lot.
it's
It's like
actually
a roller coaster.
And even streaming up to now, I feel like it's still a very experimental.
It is because you're always learning.
Yeah.
So it's always a
to.
learning process. Like whenever new games comes out, you have to see if it works well or if it doesn't. Like if the views for it will drop off after maybe the first week of release, and then maybe switch over to a different game, stuff like that. Like it's always something you have to just continue to learn, and with each new release of a game, because they all may not do well for streaming, they all may not do well for YouTube, and you just kind of have to like figure those things out and stuff. So yeah, it's never ending learning process. Van, what's the time?
Oh, we're at
can't see.
55 minutes.
Do you have any more questions on
we are
on the list?
I actually have one. So we asked our viewers or our listeners to put in some questions for our either interviewer or interviewee.
Our guest.
For our guest.
I got you.
Or for us to talk about in the next podcast. We have one from Wanta Fern Plant,
Lord,
which
we
all
Got that on
know.
purpose.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We all
so
know.
sweet.
That's not having a question, isn't it?
No, it's a good question. Wait, you said it was a what question?
Never mind. Continue. I thought I saw something about
he's actually
if
pretty
you
sweet.
had to imagine what would heaven be like, then what would you?
Oh yeah. That is the question.
See, it was the heaven question. Oh god.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask
If
it.
you
What was it?
believe in a thing
Uh-huh.
such as heaven, what would your version of heaven be like?
Aww.
That's a good question. Who wants
Yeah.
to, we'll have
Do I
Nigiri
get
go
canceled
first.
now?
Wait, why would you get canceled? Are you about to say I would
No,
want
no.
What's
Of
it,
course.
Nirvana?
Of course.
Not
I'm joking,
necessarily
I'm joking,
religious.
Some
Some sort of
No, it doesn't have to be
Nirvana
religious,
or-
not
Yeah, yeah,
religious,
yeah.
just your version of what heaven looks like.
Aw.
You could be surrounded by video games, you could be
Plushies.
I don't know,
Right.
plushies.
I know, right?
Then I'm already in heaven if
Man.
it's surrounded by plushies.
I know. Aw. Yeah, it's probably kind of like the same thing, but no ill intentions, maybe, because it's
yeah.
like there's no politics, no money, like everyone is I guess happy or content is content is the term.
Mm.
Because like you're in that happy place. However,
Yeah.
logically, is that possible or not? Oh gosh, what was that TV series? Good Place, I think. I don't know if you guys watched The Good
I've heard of
Place or
it.
something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kristen Bell, I think. One
Yeah.
from Frozen. That's actually a good TV series, short and sweet.
I heard. Yeah, I heard it's really good.
It's kind of like at the end, or at the end,
Spoilers.
kind of like
Spoilers
Good
alert.
Place was. I know, sorry, I know. I like.
No, you're fine.
No,
you're
you're fine.
Never
You're
mind.
fine.
I
You're
should
fine.
probably.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Or
Yeah.
or any like or on any logical argument, because people have to be sadly logical apparently. Is it like if you get to a content like a place of content, I feel like humans internally would always want to strive for something, I guess. Will they
Mm-hmm.
be really anyway? But that's kind of like going to a
Can I
different.
bring up
It's almost
something
like,
totally
is
random?
there... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That has nothing to
Yeah.
do with the subject at hand. Okay, so you both are Spanish, Filipino, and Chinese, right?
An American probably add to that and some sort of European.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so going
If
back
you're
to that
Filipino,
question.
you're pretty much half the world, so yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I can't believe I want to ask that question. You know what? I can say this because he's my mod and my stream. I hate Diwantha, but I don't know, like people happy and stuff. I know it's a generic response, but
What?
I don't know. Going to like the heaven, like, because who asked that question? I hate Diwantha.
Rika's
I don't know,
going
I just
through some
like when
eternal
people are
struggle
happy.
right now.
I just like when people are happy. Simple as that. Regardless if it's me or not, with just everyone else, everyone be happy, okay? I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how to answer that question. Once I hate you, Vanessa, you go. I don't know. You.
What?
Rika's having an existential crisis right now.
he's
He's
just,
going through an anime arc that we don't know about.
Oh, but yeah, go ahead, fruitcake. Sorry.
I guess my heaven would be just being surrounded by people who care about me and I care about them, and just all of us doing something that we love without restriction of, I guess I would say, just any negative restrictions. Because I also think that it's a crime that people work 40 hours.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
that people
Yes.
live to work when it really
Yeah.
should be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess my heaven would be just everyone actually living like a good quality of life, not without the stresses. I feel like financial stresses really do
Yeah.
play a big part.
Put a
in-
burden. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, put a burden. So I think that'd be my...
100%
Vanessa
agree.
said. I like that.
Yeah.
That answer pretty much.
Okay, why does fruitcake always have the best answers? Why are like I feel
should
like
translate
Rika
for
and I
Rika.
just blabber stuff.
It's like she lately this podcast, if even, she's been like pretty much everything
Just
she
this
says
podcast.
I agree with, but normally
Lately, I'm pretty sure.
because usually we go off of each other when it comes to certain topics and stuff, but this one she definitely, I got to give her a thumbs up because
can we add?
We have
Can
a
we
good
add that
guest, that's
heaven?
why.
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys are a great host. For real though, no, for real. Again, I always say
No, you.
I love your chemistry together. You guys are like, I just see, brother, sister, best friend relationship sort of thing. And you guys it really shows.
Aw.
Also, I want to add
Aw.
on that piece of heaven, it's filled with adorable puppies. I'm just saying.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like that.
I'm allergic to
Yes,
dogs.
just running around. I was like, oh my
Can you
gosh.
get rid of my allergies?
gotta have puppies.
Gotta
Oh wait,
have
except for
puppies.
Riku. Riku's allergic.
Can you get rid
Dog.
of my
Oh,
allergies
no.
first while I'm in heaven, and then we can talk
Where-
about the animals and pets? Yo, might as well get
We're
We're
bunnies.
gonna kick Riku on our piece of
Snakes.
heaven. Okay, you go
Yeah.
to another heaven. Okay.
My heaven is that Riku is not allergic to dogs.
Okay,
I've
there
never
we,
been
there we
kicked
go.
out of heaven a day in my life. Whoa. She kicked me out of her heaven. What the heck?
I know.
No
It's
pun
actually on
intended.
another heaven. Okay, on a gaming heaven. Okay. Sorry.
Gaming
Oh my
heaven,
God.
yeah.
I can't believe this.
But no, Nigiri, it was awesome chatting with you.
Aw,
It's
thank
always
you,
a
thank you so
pleasure
much.
talking
I
with
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much.
Can
Thank you so much for inviting.
Yeah, no, of course. Can you tell our listeners / viewers where they can find you?
They can catch me on twitch.tv, Nigiri21 Sushi, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, US time. Thank you. Thank you so much again for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
No,
your
thank
Twitter
you for
down there
chatting
too,
with
and
us.
everything else. TikTok.
Yeah, we'll have
and
all the
stuff,
linkies at the bottom.
just in case you
Oh,
forget
thank you,
anything.
thank you, yeah.
And if you guys
Oh,
want
you
us to
click the
talk
link.
about any other stuff, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. If you guys have questions, topics, all that great stuff, don't forget to also like, subscribe. What else do you guys do on YouTube?
Like,
The bell
comment,
thing.
subscribe, hit the
Like,
bell,
comment,
notification bell. Whenever the video goes live, you get notified and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for the podcast. I appreciate it.
Hey!
Appreciate you, Nigiri.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.